Don in London, hello, October the 8th, 2009, even stumbling over the start here. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour, or both. My substance, alcohol; my behaviour, workaholic, relationshipaholic, any oldolic, any oldism, food even. And you know, we can be cross-addicted across many things. So we probably have a primary addiction, mine being alcohol, or fear probably underlying that, and then behaviour. So we learn that if we are not active in our primary addiction, we can actually move on to other ones, and that can be just as debilitating and difficult. So for me, I like to try live recovery one day at a time, just for today, and that's a good time frame, no more than 24 hours, and sometimes down to the hour or minute, depending on what is impacting on me and my life and the lives of those around me. And what helps me to keep in recovery: family, community, society, and a fellowship. And that fellowship is AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. I don't speak for it, never can, never will. Full of unique, authentic people just making their path, same as me. And what's behind all this for me is truth. Trying to find the truth of now about me and my situation, and the situation of people I am close to in fellowship and friendship and family and significant others. And often we find ourselves in a difficult situation, either that we're finding difficulty with the truth of ourselves, or other people having the difficulty of truth with themselves as well. It's a bit like, what will they think of me if they knew the actual truth? What will they think if I tell them the truth? What will they think or feel if I've let them down in some way? And the answer is, often, if truth is out, it cannot punish us. Truth makes us vulnerable to consequences, and the consequences we need live. So truth always is best, and when people are unable to share the truth by omission or because they fear the outcome, then it makes us all a prisoner to that falsehood. So these are discussions I've had over the last 24 hours around a lot of issues, and with quite a number of people in and out of fellowship. And do you know what works best is if we keep to the truth in the moment. The sin of omission or the lack of truth becomes less and less. So rather than having to conquer a mountain of truth, which is often what happens when we come into recovery from addiction, where we've been in denial for a long time, we can start to make truth right-sized in the day. And when things are going off the road or off the map of truth, we can come back fairly quickly and ask ourselves, what are we doing and why? Or how am I feeling about the truth? Why? What can I do? Am I sharing it honestly or not? All these things are occurrences which challenge us all on a daily basis. So fellowship for me, really important. Alcoholics Anonymous, a place of anonymity to find sanctuary, to find the truth, and then to try and live it day by day. So truth is day-sized, moment-sized, if we're lucky, and it's a constant, I suppose, road that we all try and tread. So AA, how does it help me? Well, I'll share the preamble or statement of intent shared at every meeting, and then some of the readings of AA and where I am today. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And it's that simple and that hard and difficult. So last 24 hours, as I say, struggling with truth, not necessarily my own truth, but the truth I receive from others. I guess I feel misinformed in some ways, but that's okay. It's not okay, because it makes me doubt my own outlook and attitude, behaviour, and personal judgment about what is going on. So there is something in challenge there which I need to address, but not to undermine other people, but just to know that, am I processing the truth as it is now? And sometimes we can only deal with our own personal truth, because as was said in Desiderata by Max Ehrman, it's full of, the world is full of tricks and tricksters, and we don't know, and they often don't know they're doing it either. So behind all of that, we need to keep on loving people no matter what, even if we hate their behaviour, which can be very, very hurtful, even though they don't know they're doing it, just by not telling the truth. So enough of that. Maybe I've laboured the point too much, but it's important because October is all about step 10 in the fellowship 12-step program, changing attitude and behaviour to be open, honest and willing to make life work without drinking. And the more we hide from ourselves, the worse it gets, because then we're hiding from everybody else, because we're still wondering, what will they think of me if I don't tell the truth? Or what will they think of me if I do tell the truth? You don't know till you try, and it's a daily thing. So October the 8th, in this book, Daily Reflections, which is a daily read for me, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. It comes from AA's big book, page 59. Don't know which edition, so it's around there somewhere. And it says here, I was beginning to approach my new life of sobriety with unaccustomed enthusiasm. New friends were cropping up, and some of my battered friendships had begun to be repaired. Life was exciting, and I even began to enjoy my work, becoming so bold as to issue a report on the lack of proper care for some of our clients. One day a co-worker informed me that my boss was really sore because of a complaint submitted over his head had caused him much discomfort at the hands of his superiors. I knew that my report had created the problem, and began to feel responsible for my boss's difficulty. In discussing the affair, my co-worker tried to reassure me that an apology was not necessary, but I soon became convinced that I had to do something, regardless of how it might turn out. When I approached my boss and owned up to my hand in his difficulties, he was surprised, but unexpected things came out of our encounter, and my boss and I were able to agree to interact more directly and effectively in the future. So the truth will out. And you know what, if people are told the truth, or the truth is shared with them, they are more informed, and we get to know where we stand with ourselves and other people, and don't feel that our judgment is in some way impaired. Often it's not. It's just that it's very difficult to get to the root of what is going on. So fear is behind that. Fear, putting on a brave face, ego, and courage is really important in all this. If we find the courage to go forward, then we are often in a better place. And faith is important too, and as Bill sees it, page 223, one fellowship, many faiths. As a society, we must never become so vain as to suppose that we are authors and inventors of a new religion. We will humbly reflect that every one of AA's principles has been borrowed from ancient sources. A minister in Thailand wrote, "We took AA's 12 steps to the large Buddhist monastery in this province, and the head priest said, 'Why, these steps are fine. For us as Buddhists, it might be slightly more acceptable if you had inserted the word good in your steps instead of God. Nevertheless, you say that it is God, as you understand him, and that must certainly include the good. Yes, AA's 12 steps will surely be accepted by the Buddhists around here.'" And then it goes on to say, St. Louis old-timers recall how Father Edward Dowling helped start their group. It turned out to be largely Protestant, but this fazed him not one bit. And the gift in all of this is it's faith of many faiths, and whether it's God or good, it matters not. It's the sentiment and the attitude and behaviour which follows as we find truth, love, good conscience, and the serenity prayer to the God of your understanding, your authentic, unique take, all good conscience, and to faith, courage. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is just for today.